If you're looking for a way to better accomplish your goals more effectively, look no further than this video. We all have goals and things we want to accomplish in our lives, our businesses, our careers, everything. But how many times do we actually have a good plan in place to accomplish those goals? How many times do you realize later on in life that you didn't actually accomplish all the things you wanted to? It's probably because you haven't created the process in your own lives to get to that goal accomplishment that you're looking for. Well, on this episode of the Libretti Leadership Lab, I take you a little bit behind the scenes on a coaching call with a client of mine and an old friend, and we discuss her specific goals, her process in place, and how she's actually going about her goals for this month's call. So you'll be able to actually get behind the curtain and see how we talk through the main goals this client has and the process we've created for her to take action day in and day out to get her closer to those goals. So make sure you check out this whole call to get a better insight of how the coaching works at Spearhead Leadership and how to create a better process in your own lives and your own businesses to accomplish your goals. And guys, if you like this video, if you got value out of it, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends and enemies. And if you want to work with me and you want to get your own coaching and better create processes to accomplish your goals, feel free to reach out at any time. You can leave a comment in the bottom of this video. You can DM me on Instagram at Spearhead Leadership _Spearhead Leadership. You can find us on LinkedIn at Spearhead Leadership. We're now on TikTok at Spearhead Leadership. Of course, our website, www.spearheadleadership.co. And if you'll stay to the end of the video and you comment the word leadership at the end, we'll give you a shout out in a future episode. Love you guys. Stay strong. Tell me how you're doing with your process goals the past month. So we talked last time. We set up conversations, phone calls, or in person. I know most of the other RAs on your team are geolocated somewhere else, geo-separated. So phone
Yeah.
calls or in-person discussions just to see how they're doing once a week, just to build a relationship. How's that going? One
So,
to 10. Let's go 1 to 10 scale.
okay, all right. Well, I would say, in a way, I want to break it down by each squadron.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I feel like our geographically separated squadrons, I feel like I have amazing. I would say 10. Like communication with them is a 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I 2 out of the 3 squadrons I have military RAs. So, I'm added to this. I've been added to this Slack for the 37th, which is awesome.
Uh-huh.
And so I actually asked for feedback from them, from each of the squadrons. And
Good.
the 37th said, if someone asked them, they would say, I'm pretty sure Holly works on Hawaii's time schedule. They said that they feel like I'm always available. I'm always responsive immediately, which makes me feel good. Oddly, though, I feel like the squadrons, the 7th and 75th, that are located here close to me, they seem to need like that hands-on, like in-person communication, which is so interesting because I don't know what they would do if they were geographically separated from me. So I
Yeah.
do take the time to visit with them, and
Like in their offices.
yeah, which is nice. I mean, it's nice just to walk around and just see the airmen and get to see them all in person.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. But sometimes that could be like the reason why they seem so dependent on you,
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
little
I
bit
mean,
more with
honestly,
the
yes.
communication is because you're right there. So I
Yeah,
get that too.
yeah. And they really seem to. I think their preferred communication is through text message. So
Yeah.
I do think I set myself up for failure kind of with that one because they and they're not in place. They can have their phones where they are. So they're
Right.
texting me all throughout the day, and then like at 9 o'clock at night, it's like,
Yeah. No, I
which
get
is
it.
fine.
No, it's
But with them, I would like to fix that. I would like them to not expect immediate response. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah, and that comes with what you're doing is building the relationships with them.
yes,
Now, I have a
yeah,
question about the squadrons that are there. What's the 7th and the 75th?
yes.
Those are they both military RAs?
So the 75th is a civilian RA. She's been in the position about a year and a half.
Okay.
The 7th, I just got a new RA, and so it's been weird. I lost like immediately. I had a was my RA, and like out of nowhere that she PCA'd to another group. And
Hmm.
so then a lieutenant colonel, like the 7th always has an extra lieutenant colonel.
Right.
And so they selected him to be the RA, but he was on convalescent leave. So I had another civilian who was kind of acted as RA for in the past. So he was like he was in the middle, like kind of like the guy that took over in the middle.
Okay.
Um, so that's been interesting. So it's kind of like now I have two RAs for that squadron. So I might
Yeah.
need help later. I might have issues later with the civilian have not being able to like let go of the program and let the lieutenant colonel take over. So
Yeah. Okay.
that'll be a
There are
future
ways
issue
to
possibly.
yeah, there are ways to help lead them through that transition,
Yeah.
if you will. So that'll be okay. The 75th, um, how long have they been located with you?
So the
And your
75th, they I think it was August. Don't make fun of me for knowing the date. August 7th, 2023 is when they I guess restarted or you know.
yeah. The reason I
And that
ask is because I'm curious who's still there from when they were in Texas and separated from you.
so it, honestly, I mean, it's almost like it's a completely different squadron. I
Okay.
mean, and don't ask me the acronyms because I'll send you the acronyms later.
Yeah.
But they have like a CTVI program.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that program, yeah, that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
so that I mean that's pretty great. It's nice that it's broken off from the 7th. And I mean as you know, like the 7th broke in half, and the 75th got half of them.
Right.
Um, so it is interesting that they're two separate squadrons, and I don't know if we'll see really many people from the 75th, in the 75th from Texas. I don't know if we'll ever really. I think that the
Completely different
AFSCs are a
now.
little bit different. Yeah, yeah, and it's a different
Yeah.
mission set.
Yeah. I was just curious from the standpoint of the relationship with you and like the communication preferences and stuff like that because like to your point it sounded like it's just a whole new it's the
Yeah,
same name but it's just a different team and
a
mission
different.
altogether
Yeah,
so they don't so that dependence is based on that new team of people so
I will say they did have a really good start. I don't know if you remember Lieutenant.
yeah I remember him.
So he was their first commander.
That's
Um,
right, I forgot. Yeah,
yeah. So
I
like
saw something about that.
they didn't have really an RA for the first, I would say, 6 months of them being a squadron, and so it was kind of nice. I was able to have a little bit of control at their inception,
Mhm.
and then hand it over when they did their new civilian when she started. So
Gotcha.
that was kind of nice.
Yeah. Um, I would recommend as part of your like regular conversations, especially with the RAs that are having a little difficulty with the time, like,
Yeah,
business hours and boundaries and stuff like that. Um, have the conversation with them. Just kind of
yeah,
gently remind them, like, hey, just to let you know, like, you can even use this as an excuse now with the fiscal year coming to an end,
yep,
letting them know like, hey, in case anybody forgot, my hours have now changed with the fiscal year being over. So if you're in Hawaii, here's what that looks like for you. If you're in
right,
Texas, here's what that looks like for you. If you're here in Maryland, this is what it looks like for you guys. I'm
yeah.
asking, and then that's you don't even have to say anything more than that. You just throw that out there to them, but you have to hold them accountable. which is the
Right.
hard part.
It's
That's the
like not
biggest pain in the ass.
responding.
Right. It's because I know you. I know you want to help, you want to keep things moving forward and solve problems all the time, and that's awesome. But at some point, you're gonna have to, um, respect your own boundaries
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
they do as well. And you could
I
do that
know.
in a way without sounding like a dick or like, putting them down or anything. It's just
Yeah.
if somebody texts you at 9 p.m., just answer the next day and be like, "Hey, sorry, this is well outside, the realm of realistic for me right now. So, unless it's an emergency, then you call if it's an emergency and not text or whatever guidelines you want to create, whatever boundaries you want
Yeah.
to create. But I would use this new fiscal year as a good excuse to do that right now. So,
Well, I will say one thing you've helped with. I am actually going to turn my out of office on for the first time.
oh yeah, love that, love that. Put
So
that
so
on.
thank you. It'll be
Yeah,
difficult, but thank you.
that'll help you too, not just because you'll be showing everyone like I'm out, but you're not going to get notifications. So
Yeah.
the urge to like respond and be on call is going to be a way down. I've had to do that too since being out of the military and out of classified workspaces. I got my phone everywhere.
All the
And
time.
guess what's in my hand on all the time? It's my phone. So I have to put on do not disturb and move
Yeah.
it to a different room for the same reason. It's just I've become too dependent on it. So
Yep.
that'll be good for you. Put that damn thing on, and that'll be
It'll be
solid.
difficult, but it'll be good. I think
Yeah,
it'll be a good experience.
good. How so? Every otherwise being able to schedule conversations separate from end of fiscal year budget risk, ramping up conversations. That's a big thing I want to make sure that we're
Yeah.
doing is I know you're talking to them every day, especially now with the heat on towards the end here. But you want to make it a point to have these conversations with them and just not, just to shoot the shit a little bit. Hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? Like, I know we just talked about this particular like budget topic or obligation or what have you, but like, are you getting everything you need from the group or from the wing? If there's something you're not getting, like this is like, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you're taking time. Like remind them. Make sure you're taking time for yourself. You're not, losing sleep and going too crazy over this crap. Remind them that this is a job that they're holding, especially if they're in the military RA. This is
Yes.
a part of their job that they have to do, and that they should give themselves a little bit of grace and not kill themselves over it.
Yes. Yeah. I think honestly, the fifth, I mean, last year they were in, the hurricane at the end of the fiscal year and
Yeah.
had to like make all the large purchases. This year, they're kind of getting a break. I mean, mainly because of how the fiscal year has been.
Yeah.
But a couple of my team down at the fifth, they were able to actually go TDY at the end of the fiscal year because of like what we've implemented throughout this FY versus previous ones. So like they're actually able to enjoy their time, and it's in the end of September. So
That's
that's
awesome.
been a huge improvement.
Yeah, that never happens usually.
No, no,
So that's
yeah,
pretty good. Good for them.
it's,
They're still in Georgia.
yes, yeah,
Okay. Good deal. All right. Um, your budgetary goals that you gave to the squadrons, we kind of talked about, spending their money,
yeah,
not being too far under spending so that they're
yeah.
not giving the money back. How are we doing 1 to 10 on
So
providing them the updates? I'm sure it's a little different. Like I said, now fiscal year, you're probably talking every day about it, but how has it been going for you?
so I as you know, like this has been like the hardest fiscal year. I
Yeah.
mean, like with the travel freezes we went through at the beginning of at the end of second quarter, beginning of third quarter, and then even like the purchase card issues we had, and it kind of halted spending. So it made it kind of difficult, as I'm trying to say, like, all right, let's keep at our obligation rate.
Hmm.
It, but but as of this morning, our OBAN has been closed out, and we are officially at 99.44% obligation, which is phenomenal.
Awesome.
This is the best obligation end that we've ever gotten to, and it's fantastic. I could not be more proud.
That's awesome.
Worst fiscal year ever, and yet somehow it's the best end.
Hey, look, two things. One, tell your team that.
Yes.
Two, give yourself some credit for that. I mean, you can't control.
You're never getting rid of me. You're my coach for life now.
Yeah, you can't control what the government does as far as freezes and when they're unfreezing. You have to respond to that.
Yeah.
And how many times in the past have we seen people react negatively and freak out over stuff like this and lose their shit, for lack of a better term? And not only did you not do that, but you got your team to the best obligation ever. And I was in that squadron, or I was in that group with you for a number of years without any of those issues.
Yes.
So
I know. And you saw like how difficult it can be. I mean, honestly, like this whole process has been, I feel like as long as you have a great team, you can accomplish anything, no matter what gets thrown at you. Like, like the team is what matters the most. So,
yeah, big time.
It's been awesome.
And that's something too that like you're the mainstay, right? You're the one that's basically always going to be at the point. So when military RAs come and go, squadron commanders come and go, they're going to look to you. So it's make sure you're communicating that to them as they come in. Hey, like this team, this might be like a difficult position to hold, but if you give me, if you help me out, if you give me your best, and if you understand the importance of this, your entire squadron is going to reap the benefits from it, and we're going to run like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. So. And I just everything I've learned over the last couple of months, I mean, I'll be able to keep that with my future teams. In fact, I'm realizing right now, I don't think I ever told you. I don't know if you remember. I can't remember if I told you or not. But like he took the delayed resignation, and he retires October 1, effective October 1. So wow. I've been without him since like April. But with him, and you know how like it was very difficult often dealing with him. He was my reactive person. And yet somehow this year, even with losing him, he's set up, and I'll give myself credit, with my guidance and help, but he's set up a successful team. They just passed with flying colors. Their RA program just passed an IG inspection, and we're told like, you guys have a phenomenal program. So, I mean,
awesome.
Who's
the RA then? Who took over? Like a couple people, or?
So I don't know if you remember his name. His name is.
I don't remember. Like I remember that name. Probably just from seeing his paperwork and stuff.
Yeah. So and he's not an RA. Like that is not his job. Like he's brand new to it. So he's been kind of running the show down there since April. And I've had to step in, and do like more stuff within our accounting system and everything. But even with him, like the communication from day one has been amazing. And it's just, he's been doing a phenomenal job. It's so crazy to me because this really should have been just the worst, shittiest year.
The circus act. Yeah.
Yeah. And somehow it just, I don't know. It impresses me.
Like I said, you got to give yourself a little credit here. I know that's weird and uncomfortable to like pat yourself on the back.
I did this.
And be like, I did this. But again, I've known you for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
You've been in that role for almost 10 years now. This shit does not happen without you cultivating that environment.
Yes. But I
Okay.
mean, I will say, I mean, like I've learned so much. Just you've helped a lot with the relationships with people and budget stuff, budget knowledge, all of that. I mean, it, setting up positive working relationships, and even like you said, like shooting the breeze with people, like joking around with them. I mean, it builds trust across the team, and it leads to better success.
Yeah,
And I think my team is happier.
it's crazy how much easier your job is when
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about the most common BS issues that go on in work are
yeah,
all these interpersonal problems, the egos, the reading the incorrect tone on an email and starting a fight about it, the
yeah,
not trusting each other. All that stuff. I say it all the time. Leadership is a people endeavor. It's not about hitting your profit margins or your budgetary goals. Like that's part of your managerial process of your job.
yeah,
But if you want to do that, you have to create these good relationships that are built on trust and respect and work ethic and discipline, and watch how you don't even have to work. Look at you. This was a nightmare
absolute
budgetary
nightmare.
situation this year
Yeah,
because
yeah,
money stopped, money flowed, money stopped again. You
yeah.
couldn't create a routine for anybody. You couldn't create a routine for yourself, and you ended up with the best results possible. How does that happen? Because you got a
With the
good team,
people.
because you built
Yeah,
a good team and you created those good relationships. So no matter what shit hit the fan, you guys were able to roll with it.
yeah.
And again, that doesn't happen if they don't have a good leader creating that environment. So don't don't forget that crap. That's a I know, like I said, I know that's uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing that I feel people that I work with all, separately also have the most trouble with. It's
Yeah.
you feel that like imposter syndrome, like I don't deserve to
It
feel like
does.
it's everybody
Yeah.
else did the work. It's like you created the conditions for them to get this shit done because you were a good leader. So you did so give
It's
yourself
even
some.
weird to even say like I'm a leader. Like
Yeah.
I know that I am, but it's just weird. It does feel like imposter syndrome. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but
to that point too, and this is nothing against previous, commanders and stuff, even the ones that we both worked under and liked. Um, I don't remember any, any group commander, wing commander saying, "Hey, don't forget you're the lead RA."
yeah,
They're
yeah,
just they always saw you, and again, to no fault of their own, they just didn't put two and two together. I guess I don't know, but they saw the RA position in the group where you're at. The resource advisor is
yep,
just a position that focuses on the money. They don't even discuss or think about the fact that no, yes, you're in charge of the group budget, but that budget and that money has to go out to the group staff plus five other squadrons of
yeah.
hundreds of people. And you have to be in charge of the people running it at those lower levels. So you are
Yep.
very much a leader. It's just never seen as that.
Well, and I will say, last year, so with the 37th, I have an RA and a backup RA. They're both military. And last year, and coincidentally, like 2 years ago with the fifth, I had two people kind of step in, and they were both gunning for chief, but they kind of stepped in and they wanted to put new people in the RA position, and it was like, hold up, like you better, it's gonna pass through me, like who are you putting in there? And I think one of them,
Yeah.
it was one of the people that they wanted to put in the RA position down at the fifth. The person was about to be like on leave for 6 months for some medical
So,
whatever. But
yeah.
and I'm like, what are you thinking here? You're not, like, this isn't just a position where you throw somebody in it and think like, oh well, it's good. Like, you got to pick some of your best people. The people matter. You got to pick some of your best people for it.
Yeah, and that's something that you've done a good job, and I would encourage you to continue to communicate that out to the squadrons as new commanders and new
Yeah,
chiefs come in. Is remind them that this on paper, the squadron RA. I know it's on your list of secondary tasks for somebody to do on top of their primary job. Got it. But you have to understand that
Yeah.
this is where all your money flows to do literally anything you want in your squadron. Training, onboarding, TDYs, programs, all this stuff that you want to do and need to do comes through the money,
Yep.
whether you like it or not. So it is in your best interest to assign and keep your best people to be able to handle that position.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with, it's the same in the corporate world. You're going to be dealing with like talent retention issues. You're going to keep changing out RAs because you think you keep
Yep.
considering it a side job and you keep putting in the wrong people, and then you're wasting time. And in the corporate world, they waste time and lose money because they're constantly recruiting, hiring, retraining new people because they consider it an other position as
Yep.
opposed to
Yeah.
this is a primary role. This is one of the most, if not the second most, probably important role you can have that's not the commander or chief of the squadron.
Yeah. I mean, like with the fifth, I was like, absolutely not. Like the guy you guys just put in this job, like, first off, he's phenomenal. And he's been in the job like 3 months. Like, no. And it's an additional duty for him. And he's PCSing in June.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's been in the job for a year and a half now. Like he's done amazing, so amazing that the fifth is like acquired any excess funding we've had across the group at the end of the year. And they went through a hurricane last year, and they still got like, hey, anybody else have any like money left over? And I'm like, yeah, actually, like this fell through, or this travel was canceled. And so they got that. And I honestly, I've been using them as an example to other squadron commanders. Like, hey, like the fifth is successful because of who they selected. Like, be wise about it. And so sharing that with the 37th, the master sergeant they selected, he's been great. I mean,
good.
So the hard part is civilians. I can't get rid of them.
Right.
You know
it
what
could
I mean?
be a gift and a curse. Yeah. If they're great, it's like, thank God they're a civilian.
Yeah.
But if they stink, not, then you're like, now you got your work to do. That's where your leadership role comes in.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that shit's a pain in the ass to deal with. And that's why there's so many people who are very capable of being good leaders in managerial or supervisor positions, but they're not because they don't do the hard stuff, that difficult crap.
Yeah.
That nobody wants to do. I get it, but don't expect to advance, don't expect to learn, grow, and improve as a leader if you can't get out of your comfort zone and do that hard shit.
Exactly. I will say the good thing, and it goes along the lines of like, of people, and every one of my squadron RAs genuinely cares about the airmen. And so like that, if I had one that didn't, I mean, that would be like, I'm having a meeting with the commander and like saying we need to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least they have that. Anything else I can deal with.
Right.
As long as they have that care.
It goes back to, if the person in that position shares your values, the squadron's values, the group's values, they have their own personal core values, they have a good work ethic, they have a good attitude, you can teach them the hard skills.
Yeah.
You can teach them to put the ones and zeros in the spreadsheets and make sure the obligations like that. I don't want to say that's easy because I don't want to dismiss the importance of that role.
No, but I mean,
the hard skills in almost any other job, almost any, not doctor and surgeon and stuff, but get the right person in there, and you can teach a monkey to be a good RA if they have a right attitude and you build a good relationship.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it is true because I mean, these military members, they're like cyber people, they're intel people, they're linguists. They know 5 different languages. Like
they can learn RA. Yeah.
I can teach them the RA part. But if they're not good with people and they're not a good teammate, it's not going to work. I mean,
it's going to be very difficult for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of difficult and making things easier on yourself mentally, how have you been doing with your mental training program? Are you
So
continuing to, at the very least, acknowledge three accomplishments each day and one thing you're going to improve upon or you want to improve upon in the next 24
yes,
hours?
and I think you'll be proud of me. So I got this notebook. No,
Awesome.
I don't. I don't. There are nights where I'm like, oh, I fall asleep and I'm like, crap, I didn't do it. But it has like in the morning, I've got the morning mindset, and it's like 10 questions. Like, what do you want to accomplish today? It's probably like backwards if I show you this, but and then it's top three goals, priorities for the day. But then and then what absolutely has to get done. It's like a nice like when I wake up, sip
Good.
my coffee, like mental note. But then in the evening, it has an evening journal and like stuff like what I appreciated today, like
Hmm.
who and what I appreciate too. In the morning portion, it says a person I need to lead or connect with today and how I think I should do that. So that it's been phenomenal going through
Great.
this. And then it asked me like evening journal, like what I appreciated, but then like what I handled well today,
Hmm.
what could have made what it could have made today better,
Yep.
what would have made me feel more connected with my team, and then it asked me to do like a daily habits scorecard, and it's honestly been kind of nice. It's like a introspective self-assessment of the day, but then I also get to like start the next morning like how do I want today to go, you know
Yes.
it,
That's
and it
that is
it's
the mental that is what you want. That is the leadership, the success mindset that we're looking for.
yeah,
Now it's going to take a while. Like that takes a long time to rewire our brains to
right,
for that to become second nature to us. But that's the point: is you lead your day. You're going to be
yep,
the one leading it. So if that's helping you in the morning, waking up, and the first thing you're doing is you're setting the conditions for your day as opposed to letting the day lead you and run you, then you're in a good spot. That's the point of the mental training. That's the point of writing
yeah,
down your accomplishments, to see the see that. If you put down those accomplishments, your your brain is doing something that is probably not used to. Knowing you and our relationship, it's
yeah,
probably not used to acknowledging
yeah,
accomplishments of yourself, correct?
yes,
So I'm sure it still feels weird to do that shit.
it does,
But that's why I'm telling you to do even the smallest things. Like I made my bed today, which I don't always do.
yeah,
I wrote in my journal today like I wanted to. I went to I exercised like I wanted to. Like
yeah,
whatever little thing, right, make sure you're understanding and appreciating those accomplishments because it's not about participation trophies and
right.
and 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 accolades for nothing. It is to get your brain to rewire to acknowledge the fact that you're making progress and you're doing shit,
Yeah.
which is not something we historically have in our own brains. Most people don't.
And I've noticed too, it's kind of nice to just in the evening sit down and have just a quiet moment where I think positively back about a stressful day. Because you know me, like I have to. It takes a while for my brain to shut down for me to even get sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm still up at like 2:30 in the morning, regardless of what time I've fallen asleep the night before. So it's helpful to kind of look positively at my day and think like, all right, well, and like it even words it nice, like what could have made today better. It's not even like what did you fail today at, because
Right.
that's what my brain usually is like. So it's nice to kind of like okay, and then I can review the next morning. I review like what I thought about yesterday, and then kind of use that like, all right, well, what can I do today to improve that so that I'm not answering the same question with with the same answer at the end of the today. So
Yeah. You
it's
see it as
honest,
points of
yeah,
improvement. Yeah. Instead of points of failure on the day, you see it as points of what can I improve upon.
yeah, and just a
Now,
kind introspection, like
yeah,
yeah, I'm sleeping better.
good. That's awesome. That's important too.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's something that, it all that combined, it it may seem like nothing right now. You might be doing it 3, 4 days in a row. I don't know how long you've had that specific journal, And you might look back on the week and be like, I haven't, what did I do in a week? But it's
Yeah.
just like exercising at the gym. How long does it take us to lose the weight we want or get the structure we want?
Yeah.
Weeks, months, years. It takes you have to stay consistent with that.
Right.
And that consistency will build the confidence. So visually seeing and writing down those accomplishments you made each day, that's going to build confidence inside your brain.
Yeah.
And it's going to make you feel like, oh, this day I did shit today.
Yeah.
And then you build on that. Now you have 5 days in a row of that same feeling. I did shit. Now your confidence is soaring. So that consistency is going to be a lot easier. That's how you build discipline. People don't realize that. They just think they
Yeah.
wake up and they're like, it's time to be disciplined. It's like, no, you have to build that crap, unfortunately. It's very
Just get like
difficult.
motivated in a moment and like, oh yeah.
Right. The
It's
motivation is, I love it, but it's a fleeting feeling. Motivation is
yeah.
fleeting. It could be gone in an instant. And then you're sitting there like, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to. But if you remain consistent, doesn't matter what the motivation is, you're going to be able to do it. So that's why it's important. That's why I keep stressing those. Write down your accomplishments. Write down the priority things you need to get done each day. And then if you have a third goal that you also think is important in your life,
Yeah.
put that down too. What you don't want to do, and this is what I like about your journal. It seems like that specific journal is good too. You don't want to overextend your mental bandwidth.
Yeah.
We call it channel capacity. Channel capacity. Your brain can only, even no matter what people say as far as their ability to multitask and stuff, there's only so much our brain can handle before they start dropping things off. And the
Right.
average is about 3 things. So
Yeah.
you got 3 things you focus on each day, your priorities. Don't overextend. Make sure you're prioritizing appropriately what is actually the most important 3 things you want to get done and need to get done each day, but don't overextend yourself. Make sure everything that you're doing is continued to be within that capacity, because that's how you're going to get to the success. If you
Yeah.
give yourself 8 things to do today, I got to talk to five team members and catch up with them. I got to set this thing. I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this. And then
My whole yeah, right.
you're like, I'm not doing 15 things today. And then you end up doing no things today.
My to-do list is like 6 pages long
Yeah,
because
I've had the
I
same
end up
issue.
adding more stuff than what I accomplish every day, and then the whole day turns to shit. Like,
It turns to shit. Yeah, I've had that issue too a lot in the past, where you look at the things you have to do, especially when I was first starting out as exec,
oh yeah,
where the first day, here is a list of everything that needs to get done all the time, every second. And
yep,
it looks like an endless list. And you're like,
yeah,
I looked at it, I was like, where am I starting? I can't do 20 things today, so I'm just going to do no things today.
yeah.
And we don't want that.
You don't want to do that.
No, so that's why I'm always gonna ask you and hound you about getting your daily mental training done,
Yeah.
visualizing, getting your tasks done each day. Have you written down? I don't remember if we talked about this last time. Have you taken the time to write down I call it the vision of self-image. I call it that because the person I learned it from called it that, so I'm stealing it from him. He's a sports psychologist, genius guy. Have you written that down? That vision of what you want your life to look like in the next 6 months to a year, whatever we talked about. I think the next year, what you had this vision and
So
these goals.
I honestly I need to make. So Ryan and I actually have like a vision, a whiteboard, and we
Yeah,
write down kind of like goals
yeah,
and just like goals like where, and I guess it's really a vision board, like goals like what we want to accomplish around the house,
yeah,
like put in wood floors has been on there for I don't know 3 years now. Eventually we'll get it done.
yeah,
So we have that, but it's just like a short list of things, and I will say like it's great because we we stare at it every morning. Sometimes it ends up like eliciting like a conversation where we talk about whatever's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say over the last, couple years that we've done that, we've probably wiped off more things on that list than what we've added, and we always add more to it as we wipe something off. So it's fantastic. I mean,
Good.
it's so great, but I need to sit down and really like write out, I guess like a more in depth, and just for me, like what I want my life to look like in 6 months and even in a year.
Yeah. So I do it. I break it down separately because I like to keep things, piecemeal. It helps
Yeah.
me. It helps me, actually get it down and get it, be more successful at it. I go like my big visualization for myself is 5 years down the road, and then I break it
Yeah.
down to shorter, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, or whatever. Whatever is comfortable for you. I would recommend you break it down from there into here's what I want my career, business, work life to look like.
Yeah.
Here's what my family relationship to look like, and here's what my personal life, what I want it to look like. And you can break it down as like personal life is, your health and wellness, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The vacations you want to take with just your husband. The
Yes.
things you want to do with your house, and then the family is like, I want, what you want to see out of your family. I want to see holidays we're doing this together, birthdays we're doing this, special whatever it is, and then take the time for each separate thing to like write it all out, every
Yeah.
little detail you can think
Every
of.
little.
Just and you could do it while you're like watching TV, whatever. Whenever you have a break, just write it out, and then you have it in there. And by hand writing it out, it gets it ingrained in your brain a little bit, like that little
Yeah.
like that tactile action of writing is another avenue for your brain to absorb something.
Like years ago, I watched, I don't know if you've ever seen the Secret. I guess they call it a documentary. It's more like a book on video, but,
I used
and
to
I,
hate that book.
you used to?
I'll tell you why in a second. I don't want to interrupt you.
No. All right. Well, I will say like I was very skeptical of the whole, law of attraction, but I will say, I mean, I wrote out what I wanted in a position, and it wasn't, it was like maybe 3 sentences long. I wanted a GS 12 position that, or like, actually, I don't even think I did that. I think I wrote out like how much I wanted to make a year.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a position where I enjoyed the people that I work around, and I liked my boss. At the time when I wrote the list, I mean, I was like, miserable at my job.
Sure.
And then I landed in this position. And now I haven't always liked the people that are considered leaders, though. If you look at,
Yeah.
if you look at like, our call roster, it's like we're on the same level. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But I'm a civilian, so I can just be honest with them. But
Mm-hmm.
but I I mean, like you said, I've been in this job almost 10 years, and I honestly I might be in this job for the next 15 until I retire. Unless we have like a commander that's terrible or something, and I'm like, I'm done.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say, I mean, like writing down like what your expectations are, and I didn't even put like a time on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the like write out, break it down into certain areas, write it out for the next 5 years. I need to do that. I need to make time. I'm going to schedule it on my calendar and make myself sit down and do that.
Yeah, and you could schedule one separate section each day, or
Yeah.
throughout the week or whatever. I used to hate The Secret because when it first came out, when it first got popular, I guess I'll say, is through Oprah's book club, which I think and what happened was the vast majority, the loudest majority of the people talking about The Secret were these people that just thought that they would put something on a vision board
Yeah, and it
and
would
the
just
universe would
miraculously
just give
happen.
it to, they can wake up, do nothing extra, and the universe would provide because they
Yeah.
they cut out some magazine clippings and glued it to a poster board.
I
And
mean, like
and
it's
they
like
create and it created this reputation of like woo woo froofy stupid crap that people who don't want to do work and lazy people just latched onto. And I was
yeah.
much younger and much more immature, and my ego was a lot bigger back then too. So when I saw that, I was like, I want to do the exact opposite of whatever The Secret tells you.
I
But
mean, honestly, I mean, like The Secret made it. It was like it made it more like grandiose, but ultimately,
yeah,
it's
but I
you put your goals
understand.
down
Right,
and
I
you work to achieve
understand the
them.
point. Right, they do
Yeah,
that because that creates that little motivational spark inside you
yeah,
to start the process. Like, oh, this sound like the universe will provide. I better start doing this. And then just getting started is a step that 80% of the people don't do.
yeah,
Now, writing it down, this is where I think The Secret got lost in the shuffle a little bit with me initially, is that I didn't hear about the science behind this stuff beforehand, the
yeah,
psychology behind it. Writing things down, I think the statistic is 90% of the most highly successful people are successful are that top percentage because they write stuff down, because they wrote
yeah,
down their goals and their plan, and they adjusted. Every time they adjusted accordingly as they accomplished goals and moved on, they wrote it down and they reminded themselves. And it's not just about putting things on a vision board and then you wake up and the
yeah,
universe magically gives you the Mercedes or the vacation or the new job and the paycheck. It's helping you rewire your brain to start thinking about, like, hey, I want to make $500,000 this year. And you keep seeing that every day. You keep writing down that goal. You keep writing down the plan and the process goal,
yeah,
to come to that plan. And then your brain starts rewiring itself and it starts thinking about any decision I make, any thought I have, any action I take is now subconsciously going to be towards that goal of making
towards that.
500,000.
Yeah,
And you got to put the work in, obviously.
you
That's how
do.
you
Yeah,
get to it.
I like I said with this job, I wrote it down. I put it on a piece of paper. I put it in my wallet, and I looked at it every day because I hated the job I was in.
Yeah,
And I mean, not the job before this one, but before that, I really hated this
right.
job. But but yeah, but I looked at it every single day. But then when I went on USA Jobs and applied for everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I completed like training, and I fixed up my resume, and I you know
Yeah,
talked to
you did
people.
the things
Yeah,
to put yourself in the position to succeed.
yeah.
You didn't just throw glitter
Put it
on a
on,
poster board
throw it on a vision board and walk away.
and walk, yeah, to get some glitter and then go to bed and be like, oh, I can't wait to be rich and successful and happy tomorrow. Like,
I'm
if
gonna
that
make a
was the
poster
case,
board. I'm gonna make myself a vision board and then take a picture and send it to you.
yeah, I have one. I have a digital one. I have I haven't printed it out yet and put on my wall because I still
I have a
got,
digital one. I call it Pinterest.
yeah, yeah. All right. Um, for next month,
I'm gonna write
keep
this down.
yeah, keep at um. Here are the big things for next month.
Okay.
Before we'll schedule a call for the end of October sometime, so we can get in the we can get in the calendar and figure that out. Um, the big thing for you is continue building the relationships with the RAs. Okay. If you need help being a little bit more specific and intentional with scheduling calls or conversations or whatever, let me know. We can talk through that in Slack.
Okay.
But set your boundaries. You got the new
Oh
fiscal
yeah.
year coming up.
Right out
Set
of
your
office, set boundaries.
set your boundaries of when you're available. but over communicate to them if it's an absolute emergency, if there's something that needs to be discussed now, even if they made a mistake and they procrastinated or something happened and it's on them because they waited too long for something to happen, but it needs to be like a decision needs to be made immediately.
Yeah.
Let them know, like, lay out the process for them. Like, if it's an emergency, do this and this and this, and that's how I'll answer and know it's a real emergency. If it's a mistake and it's urgent, do this and this and this. Like, over communicate out to them, like, this is exactly what you need, so that when I'm off hours, but you do need me, here's how you can reach me. Otherwise, don't use those emergency processes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is when I'm available, these hours, and this is what we're going to stick with. And you don't even have to be like assertive or angry. Like, if you do this or else, just leave it. And then when they do that, if they cross the boundary, that's when you give them that sort of like respectful slap on the hand. Like, no, I'm not available. Yeah, just a friendly reminder. I'm not available right now.
I know, honestly, like I mentioned last week, like, oh yeah, like I had COVID, and they were like, you had COVID? Like, because, I responded immediately, even though I'm like, coughing
dying.
Up 2 lungs, like, so I know I need, like, even when I'm sick, I need to learn how to just take a sick day.
Yeah, you do. I know how tough it is, because the time of year, like, everything is moving and needs to be buttoned up and chaotic. And then there's all those people usually with the last minute requests for obligations and stuff because they waited and they didn't burn, and then you have the commanders above you at the group and wing level coming down and saying you need to be available all the time, this and that. And you just get into your own automatic flow of nobody will ever know I'm sick. Nobody will ever know I'm sleeping.
Yep.
I'm just going to be there. And then they rely on that. And they expect that, which says something about your work ethic and your abilities and proficiency, but also there needs to be a threshold. Like, there needs to be a line in the sand. And we're going to we have a golden opportunity to create that line coming up here in the next week or two.
Yep. Awesome.
So, and you're going to stick to that, and you're going to hold them to that, and I'm going to hold you to that. Because I know you've thought about it all over the years. Like, this is the year I'm going to do it. This is the year you're going to do it.
Well, it is helpful. My granddaughter is going to stay here until Nolan PCS is back in December, and I'm her family care plan. Like, her mom's not here. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm watching her. So, I've got my laptop at home and everything, but I've told people, like, look, I've got, you're not going to be happy to hear this. I've got like 120 hours of user lose.
This is a golden opportunity to use all that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm only going to donate like 8 to 16 hours this year of leave to somebody.
Don't.
All right, I'll spend it.
Use it.
Utilize it.
Yeah, utilize it. Listen, I know we've talked about this before, years ago probably, but this is a friendly reminder. Maybe you put this on a Post-it on a mirror or something as well. You're never going to be on your deathbed thinking to yourself, man, I really should have worked more. I really should have not used that leave. And I really should have crunched those numbers on that spreadsheet for that commander who wanted it on a Sunday afternoon for no reason whatsoever other than he was bored and he had nothing better to do. Like, you're never going to be sitting there wishing you spent more time at work and less time on you and your family and your priorities.
You know what's been surprisingly, like, motivating is, and I'll be quick. I know, like, we're running out of time, but it really, all of XP, to exclude Jay, because Jay works all the time. Like, he's like, he works from home, whatever, Yeah. Like, he's got his phone with him constantly, and iPad and laptop. But like, a tech sergeant from our group messaged me, and she's like, he just walked in the door, and I'm like, and it was like 9:30, Like he just strolls into the door, and then and I guarantee he's gonna leave for PT at 1:30 today.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't. But all of XP, I mean, like they're not never working. Like you can't get a hold of them, and it's kind of been demotivating to me, like as far as like work ethic, but in a positive way, because my work ethic isn't going to ever decline or degrade,
Right.
but it's kind of like, hold up, like I why am I working so hard? I should be taking PT time too. So that is
Yes.
another goal going into FY26 is I'm going to start taking PT time 3 times a week.
Yeah. Combine forces. Take your work ethic
Yeah.
on their work schedule.
Well, and it's
You're
like
still gonna
we're
get
all just
you're
not
still
getting
gonna get
paid.
more productivity than them. I know how
Yeah,
that group
yeah,
has worked in the past. You're still gonna get more work. You're still gonna get all your things done, and nobody's gonna know the difference. Nobody's gonna
yeah,
be like, "Hey, this isn't getting done. Holly needs to come back and work more again." It's still gonna get done. Just work on
yeah,
their schedule.
yeah. Well, and I'm really lucky too. Like I mean, it's probably bad to say, I work from home a lot,
Yeah. Well, you
and
have to have the ability to be on
yeah,
unclassified.
yeah,
So
yeah, I do.
yeah,
So, but it's been kind of nice. I mean, like, someone else in the office mentioned to me, like, we have an IMA commander to our group commander,
yeah.
and I guess like our IMA commander, she's awesome,
It's
but
not
she
Jay
mentioned,
anymore.
it's no, my God, no. We've had some pretty great ones, but it's Colin. She's awesome, but she said to Colonel Pettijohn, like, Holly's like taking leave like October through November, and Colonel Pettijohn told her, like, yeah, like she was like, no big deal, because she knows even. And now I will say this, and I've gotten a lot better about this. If I'm on leave and somebody bothers me, like if I have to work something, I log that time, because I can like log my hours up to
Yeah, yeah.
15-minute increments. So I have learned, like, no, I'm done like giving my leave and just
Back.
working through leave.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm gonna log this appropriately. Um, so I have gotten way better. It's probably why I have like so much user lose, because I'm really honest with my time card. Plus, Jay told me I need to do better with that. But
Yeah.
so, um, but I don't know. It's good that, like, obviously my work ethic, our group commander recognizes that, and
Yeah.
so
Respects and understands. Yeah.
yeah.
Again, be
So
proud of yourself for that.
yeah, that I am. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. So
So
we have, we got three things to focus on other than, the process goals
yep.
or keep at those. Three other things to work at is set those borders coming
Yep.
up. Okay. Keep track of your ability to maintain those borders.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Keep
And all
track.
you have to do is that's almost like a simple yes or no. Like,
Yeah.
did
Did I
I let it
accomplish this today?
did I accomplish this today? Yes or no? Now the goal is we want to be at a 9 out of 10 in our success rate
Okay.
over the long period of time. But when we're doing something new like this, like, don't beat yourself up if next month you're at a 50% success with holding your schedule and stuff, because you're not used to that.
Yeah.
Give yourself some grace.
Give myself
Understand that
some grace period.
it's not gonna always go well for a number of different reasons, but the consistency is you paying attention and striving for that and working towards it each day, and that number will go up. That 50% will become 90%. Don't worry, like, just stay consistent.
It'll get better as long as I'm consistent with it. As
Right.
long as I'm attempting every single day. I'm putting an actual try at it.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
And then
then
the 5-year plan.
the visualization plan is,
Yeah.
write that stuff down. And then the third thing is I don't know where you need to put it. A vision board, a post it on your computer,
Yes.
a post it on the mirror. Remind yourself that you you've accomplished a ton of shit already, and you should be proud of yourself for all that crap.
Thank you.
And don't look for other people to be proud of you. Like
Be proud of myself.
don't rely on others' validation. It's going to be
Yeah.
great. I know your husband Ryan is probably very proud of you, and he probably tells you. I know how he is. He's your
Yeah.
biggest fan. He's like a weird groupie to you, and that's amazing. I love that. But you got to be your own goddamn groupie.
Yeah.
You got to
I need
be.
to talk better to myself.
Yeah, because then if you're relying on the external, that's not guaranteed. It's not always going to be there. You know,
Yeah.
my parents are not always going to be there to validate me, my friends, my significant others, whatever. So we got to rely on ourselves, and that's weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it feels like you don't deserve it, but you do, and don't forget that.
I will try.
You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna write on my mirror.
Look,
I'm gonna write on my
this is
mirror.
an easy goal. You gotta write it once, set it and forget it, and you'll see it every day. That's it.
Okay. All right. All right.
Do you have any questions or issues, anything you want to make sure is covered for next month or anything like that?
No, but I'm sure I'll send you. I'll try my best. I'm sure I'll like hit you up on Slack and flood you with questions as they come in.
Bother me anytime. If I don't answer, you know why. It's because you're outside my working hours. But you also know if it's an emergency, you know where to call me.
Okay. Yeah.
So don't ever worry about that.
Well, thank you.
All right, Halls. If you need anything, Slack, call, tell your husband I said hi.
I will.
And we'll schedule for next month. All right.
All right. Thanks.